And I think that's why I felt that, maybe getting into a personal training would help me, because there would be someone who would, make me do things. If I were to just, go and enroll in a gym, I'll probably not go. So I think, I felt that it's overall health, right? It's not just one part.
Hello everybody who is watching this video, and welcome again to Fitnesstalks India's YouTube channel. Here's to another inspiring story that one of our FT family members has to share with you all. Please introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a little about your hobbies and your professional life as well.
Hi everyone, my name is Nishita Gambani. I have been living in the US for last 4 or 5 years, and my work style is very sedentary. Last 2.5 years, right, since the pandemic started, just been working from home, sitting in front of the laptop, not moving at all. And I think, that's where I thought that, probably I need to take care of my health and start working out.
How did you come to know about the 37 days challenge?
That's very interesting, right? So I'll tell you, I thought I've never worked out before I joined Fitnesstalks, right? I had never been to a gym. And I thought maybe, it's time that I should do something. I've always been doing yoga and all. So I started with that. And then I was like, maybe I need a little more, because that time I had put on some weight. And I tried some local coaches here in the US. I took a session. It was a session with 4 or 5 people. It was just a 20-minute session. And after that, I felt so pukish that those 20 minutes were like hell to me. And I was like, I cannot do this. And that person suggested that maybe, group session is not for me and I should go for personal sessions. That's when I started exploring, okay, who in India does personal session? Because anyways, I'm going to do it on Zoom. Might as well check out with someone who can, understand my language. They are familiar with, the kind of food we eat, so that they can help me with nutrition. So I reached out. I follow these influencers in India. And I think that's where I noticed, that they have tagged Fitnesstalks. So I sent a DM, and that's, when it started.
Did you have any sort of perception in your mind that how will the challenge look like?
Yeah, it's like, what happens in 37 days? Like, it's such a short amount of time, right? Like, how are they going to change me? I had put on weight, but my weight has been pretty consistent. So weight wasn't the big concern in my mind. My concern was more around, staying healthy, getting a toned body, making sure my posture is correct. Always used to have back pains, neck pain. Sometimes my arm is twisted, right? All those things. So I think that is one of my major goals that I had shared. And I was like, what's going to change in just 37 days? And I think one thing that I really liked, and I think I mentioned this before as well, that I felt like even in, first 2 weeks, I felt that this is not just, like going to gym and working out. This is a whole, lifestyle training that I'm getting, because my coach would check on me for diet. My coach would check on me on, how much I'm sleeping. I think in my first introductory class, I think that's where, I kind of felt that, it's going to work out, because they questioned me on how much hours I'm sleeping. If I have any stress, any work related stress, any personal life related stress, what are my eating habits? Have I worked out before? So I felt like that coaching session, the first initial onboarding session, if you call it, that was very helpful for me. I think that's where, I understood how it is going to work out. I think I would also say one more thing that I didn't realize when I joined, that it doesn't just help with your physical, strength. It helps with your mental strength. And I think, there was a point where I was going into depression, and someone suggested that I should take up exercise. And I think that's why I felt that maybe getting into a personal training would help me, because there would be someone who would make me do things. If I were to just go and enroll in a gym, I'll probably not go. So I think, I felt that it's overall health, right? It's not just one part, it's not just physical strength, but if you go and exercise every day, right, your mental well-being is also being taken care of.
So what did your routine look like before joining the 37 days challenge?
My routine was, I would eat anything and everything under the sun. I was, and I'm a little ashamed to say this, that I was very ignorant about, what I'm eating, what is the content of my food, carbs, proteins, fat. I had no idea, right? And I never paid attention to it, honestly. Yeah. And then, of course, like we're going out, drinking in the evenings, weekends were, used to be a blur. So it was, I would say it was very bad. I would wake up very late in the mornings, right? Again, sleep late in the night, 2 o'clock, 3 a.m. in the morning, and then, getting up and working. So yeah, it was pretty bad.
How drastically did it change for you during the time span of 37 days challenge? Now that you have been working out with us since a long period of time.
When I joined 37 days challenge, I thought that, that'll be it, right? Like that'll be it. But I think towards the end, I realized that it is a lifestyle change, right? So I think those 37 days gave me the foundation. It put me in a routine which I was not ready to, let go of, right? It made me understand, okay, what is the food that I need to consume to make sure, I stay fit. I would have a lot of trouble because, like I said, that, I was very reckless in my eating habits. I would just eat anything and everything under the sun at 2 a.m. in the mornings. And it would give me problems like, acidity. I wouldn't feel okay. I would feel bloated all the time. So I think those 37 days, because I improved my eating habits, right, it made me feel lighter, not just in weight, but, how I would feel inside. And then, of course, it gave me discipline to wake up in the mornings, because I think I forced myself to take up a slot which was difficult for me. So I would wake up at 5:30. So imagine someone who wakes up at like 8:30 or 9, they're starting to get up at 5:30. So that was a big challenge. And I think those 37 days made me realize that I can do it.
You mentioned that you were almost, you were going to face depression, and someone suggested you to join and exercise regularly. But do you really think that exercise has helped you maybe come out of it, or maybe has helped you in a way where you are in a better place right now?
Yeah. So I didn't go into like complete depression. I was heading there, right? And that's when someone suggested that I should take up exercise. And I felt like, a lot of times it just helped me not go in that dark place, right? Because it's like, a commitment that I have made to myself. And, I know what works for me. I think that works for me is that someone waiting on the other side for me to join a session, right? So that guilt would most of the times would wake me up, make me go to the gym and then work out. And then after 1 hour, I would feel really nice about the fact that I did something, I worked out, my body is feeling good, my mind is feeling healthy. So I feel like, that it's a whole, it's a combination of your whole mental and physical health, right? Exercise is just it's not just about, how you're looking outside, but, it helps you who you are from inside.
Did you ever feel that something is missing even if you are coaching online one on one with the trainer?
So I'll tell you, I'll be very honest. I had my doubts, obviously, right? Because I have never worked out before. And then, like how is it going to work out on phone? How are they going to, make sure I have the right form and, I'm doing my exercise correctly. But I think, I started at home. I didn't have access to gym. So I would just work out at home. I bought very light dumbbells. And I was like, I don't know if it's going to happen or not because I'm working out at home. And he was so confident that, it's going to happen. It was like, he's a pro. And I was like, yeah, I think it works fine.
Along with working out, do you feel that the right nutrition is also required at the same time?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things that you know, attracted me to fitness talks, and I did, of course, like anyone would do who's new, right? If you go out for shopping, you'll at least go to 5 different shops, right? So I did reach out to a different, coaches. And one thing that I really liked was that I don't have to talk to 3 different people, right? One for nutrition, one for my lifestyle, one for, like working out. And I felt that it's all, blended in one. Because if I'm working out with someone, right, like they would understand what nutrition I need to have when there is a change, right? It will take some time. And I think that's what these 37 days is all about, right? Just making you believe that you can do it.
You mentioned that you had migraine, if I'm not wrong. After having the right amount of nutrition and knowing that you are eating clean and healthy as well. So, do you think you have been slightly able to overcome that issue?
Yeah, absolutely, right? Because, I would skip meals earlier, although I would eat. I never paid attention to what I'm eating, what time I'm eating, right? But now, because it's like, okay, I have to send my meal pictures, right? Let's make sure that, I eat my food, I get it right, because I have to, I'm accountable.
Did you have some sort of cravings in between where you felt like cheating at least once?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I think one thing that I like is, even if I'm cheating, I would tell him so that my coach is aware. And I think when I did my 37 days challenge, it was very hard. And every day, every session, I would ask, like, imagine just starting to work out for 2 days, and it's like, when am I getting my cheat day? When am I getting my cheat day? So I remember that first time I got my cheat day, I waited for it. But I think now, I've gotten into a rhythm. I know that, I have to wait it out. But it was, it doesn't even feel like an issue because I tell him that, I'm craving for this and I need a cheat day. It just gets accommodated in my plan.
What were the changes that you started to observe in yourself physically after the 37 days challenge?
Think I didn't feel it myself, but there is a change, and I would tell my coach that I don't see any change. It's been 37 days, and then I think my coach asked me for a picture, and then they did a comparison between my before and after, and I saw changes. I think weight was not a big issue, like I mentioned, but looking fit was more of a bigger issue for me, and I think I saw my inches going down. I saw my posture getting a little better. I saw, that my body overall is looking much leaner, much toned, and I think that was my goal.
So, as you mentioned that you also faced some, posture issues. Would you be able to tell us about what was the main cause of the posture issue?
I used to have, like I said, that I had a sedentary lifestyle, and I would like sit like this, like I had droopy shoulders, and now you can see, it's lighter, slightly fitter, it's back, yeah. And because of that, I would get a lot of back pain. Almost every day I was waking up with pain because, of course, I didn't take care of my posture, even though I still have a sedentary lifestyle. But I think, it made me realize the importance of having a good posture. So now I pay attention to how I'm sitting. And of course, with the workout, right, it helps me with my core strength and
So, was there any sort of, energy change or energy level change that you observed in yourself before the 37 days challenge
oh,
and after the challenge?
oh yes. So I woke up from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning, and 7 a.m. I'm so high in energy that you tell me what needs to be done, and 7 a.m. is the time I can get it done. And this is not something that I observe. Even a lot of people around me that she gets a sort of a high at 7 a.m. post workout. She's so high on energy. And I think, it just keeps me in check throughout the day. It's not just, when I finish my workout, but throughout the day, I feel very energetic. I feel very pumped up.
So, what is your takeaway from the whole 37 days challenge?
I my takeaway is that you should definitely try it. You should definitely go for it. It is life changer, and I have recommended this to so many of my friends. My brother also. I was just before this call. I was just talking to him that why don't you try it? It's going to be amazing for you. It's not just don't think of it from just losing your weight, but think of it from whole lifestyle change.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing all of your journey with us today and being such an insightful FT family member. So, thank you so much once again, ma'am, for being here and sharing your transformations journey with us.